Hi guys, this is Erica Weston with Fox Sports Midwest, and you're listening to my favorite St. Louis Blues hockey podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio.
Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you in part by Manscaped, the very best in men's below-the-waist grooming.
Oh my God.
Get 20% off and free shipping with promo code LGB at manscaped.com. Look good, smell good, feel good with Manscaped.
As the world's only personalized vitamin platform based on a health assessment and your DNA, ID Life provides its members with high-quality ingredients backed by pure science.
It's science.
Check out rockinthatidlife.com and speak with Dustin about how you can reach your goals today. That's rockinthatidlife.com.
Center Ice Brewery is a proud sponsor of Let's Go Blues Radio. Visit centericebrewery.com today to schedule a no-contact curbside pickup or make a reservation in their awesome tap room. That's Center Ice Brewery, located in Midtown St. Louis. Let's go Blues! Welcome to Season 9, Episode 36 of Let's Go Blues Radio. This is our live pregame show prior to Game 2 between your St. Louis Blues and the high-flying Disney on Ice Colorado Avalanche. This is the fully vaccinated, underappreciated, Stanley Cup vindicated, often imitated but never duplicated, the original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast. Please check out our sponsors, manscaped.com, rockinthatidlife.com, and centericebrewery.com. They help make this show a lot easier to produce, and more importantly, they have some great products and great services, including Manscaped's brand new Lawnmower 4.0 shaver. When you trim the bushes, boys, the tree stands taller. We're broadcasting live on Thursday, May 19th, 2021. This is franchise episode number 302 all time. To interact with the show on social media, we're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just do a search for Let's Go Blues Radio. If you can listen to a podcast, you can certainly search the internet. Check out our Discord server at letsgoblues.com/Discord. If you don't know what that is, just go to letsgoblues.com and find out. It's cool. Trust me. We're dual live streaming right now on YouTube and Facebook. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the show, smash the bell so you get notifications when we do go live. I'm joined this evening by Jeff Ponder, and Bill Day will join us shortly, hopefully. He is currently tied up with work. So, Jeff, a rough go in Game 1, to say the least, I think, and a COVID scare like you read about this morning. The Blues.
Well, let's face it. I think the reason that we had such an issue with Game 1 was the Blues watched last week's show, Let's Go Blues Radio, and saw Bill Day wasn't present. And now they're going to tune in right here, sitting in the locker room likely, and they're going to see Bill Day's not present. So hopefully Bill shows up, because I think that's the only way this team could win.
Right. I know he's the lucky charm to tie in with this show.
No, it was we'll get to talking about Game 1 here, and we'll get to talking about the craziness that was the last 9 hours in St. Louis. Well, I guess in Colorado. But a weird start to the playoffs. I mean, a season like no other, right? I saw somebody tweet, only in the NHL will you have a regular season matinee game, Game 3 and 2 Game 2s in the same night. And that's exactly what's happening. And, and it goes along with the craziness that we'll talk about that happened today. Just every team's experiencing it, but does it not feel like St. Louis has gotten the short end of the stick pretty much every time they can this season?
I want to say a lot of teams' fans feel that way about a lot of stuff.
Right.
Officiating, every team's fans think that the officials are out to get them. And the other team always gets all the breaks. It's always out. The league's out to get them. Their team either wins too much, or the league doesn't want their team to win at all. But to your point, it doesn't seem fair with a lot of this stuff. I know with the COVID stuff today, and the league coming before the playoffs started, the league said we don't plan on postponing any playoff games due to COVID reasons.
No. Where did you hear that from?
That was, I want to believe it was tweeted by.
The only report I saw was Adrian Dater. And that guy, I will gladly flat out say right now, that guy is a piece of shit. So I take his word. Yeah, he's the one that said it.
Well,
today, you can look up why. Today.
Well, I heard it before today somewhere. I'm not sure if it was
play this game no matter what.
Not this game, but like games in general. Not
okay. Well,
not
the one that said today's game that was reported by Adrian Dater, and you can look up why I say that about him.
He's a dipshit.
He's an idiot.
You know what he did?
He's gotten in some trouble on the past. Yeah, I know what he's done.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
he solicited pics from a Twitter user, wanting to, hey, show me more pics of you. Basically, I guess she had a nice picture of herself up there, and he wanted to see more. And I'm like, what a douchebag.
Yeah, exactly. So I take what he says with a grain of salt, but at the same time, you know, it is interesting to see somebody who is a little bit in the NHL know to say that. You know what, Kurt, we're going to get into that. Let's go ahead and there's plenty to talk about with that.
What are you drinking tonight? Official beers of episode number 302, the pregame show before game 2.
Well, tonight I am drinking one that we've actually discussed recently a few times, the Love Gun from Heavy Riff Brewery. Brewery. Right here in St. Louis, Clayton, I believe. Just again, anybody who's never tried it, it's wonderful. It's got a great one of the best aftertastes I've ever tasted from a beer.
And that there is one. Typically when you think aftertaste with beer, you think bittery or a lingering, not good. Right? No, it's real smooth. I agree with you. Yeah.
It's a smooth, and it's just like. It's called, what is it? Vanilla cream is what they call it. It's almost got like a berry aftertaste, which I love. I think it's a wonderful flavor. So, and it just, like you said, goes down smooth like you're drinking a cream soda. Just great stuff from Heavy Riff.
Yeah, no, and I had some at the cabin at Judy Creek in Maryville. I believe it's in Maryville. That's the address, Illinois. And if you haven't been to the cabin at Judy Creek, not a sponsor, but if you'd like to, contact us, please. They're a fantastic hole-in-the-wall place. Great, fantastic food. Amy and I go there about every couple weeks and check and go for lunch. Real good beer selection. And they had Love Gun on tap. Had some of that the other day, so that was fantastic. But yeah, good stuff. I big fan of the Love Gun. I have. From our friends at Center Ice Brewery, got myself an Old Arena Lager.
One of the best cover arts of all St. Louis beers.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's a pencil drawing. So you're thinking, oh, you know, you hear pencil drawing on a podcast. How good can it be? It's a pencil drawing of the arena. Instantly cool. It's got a real nice font arching over the arena, and it's got the Ellen Lager as a hockey stick with a puck shooting underneath. It's cool. It's really nice artwork, black and white, with a what's that, brown label, taupe label? I don't know, what is that? It's cool, and good lager, good beer.
Oh yeah,
fantastic. We will get into the Perron situation on the COVID protocol and the near disaster.
But I'm going to interrupt.
Okay,
I wanted to mention real quick the Ponder Cup.
Oh, right. Did I skip over that? I did. I'm sorry. My bad.
Okay. That's okay. We'll just mention really quick, those of you who are used to tuning into the video or tuning in live, you're used to seeing the Ponder Cup next over my left shoulder. Well, I did not win, so it is off getting engraved right now. Congratulations to Team Hotard for the big win. On that team, listener Jason, crappy goalie, was on that team. So congratulations to Jason with the big win.
Real quick, I talked to Jason. I checked out the tournament. A lot of fun. I was there for a couple games. Watched you play Austin's team, which you can get into in a second if you'd like. But I talked to Jason up at the bar. I think it was before your game, I believe. And I think he said his team at the time was 1-2, and their win so far came against your team, and so they wanted to win, right? So a team that was 1-2. And so it was a pretty good tournament. The teams were, that tells me the teams were kind of evenly matched, more or less, right? I mean, that's what it tells
Except
me.
for my team. Yeah, so my team ended up going 0-5, which going into the tournament, a lot of people, like bystanders, people who aren't playing in the tournament, but
innocent ones,
know all the guys playing. Yeah, they're all like, dude, Ponder, you got a lot of steals on your team. Your team's great. You know, you drafted well. You know, people saying, oh, you might have one of the better teams. And we went 0-5, lost the first game 7-0 to Team Paul, which is a friend of the show, sponsor Dustin Paul.
You know why? He gave his team ID life before the game.
That's what I said. I was like, dude, you gave your team way too much energy for my D life. That's what it was. No, we the other games were real close, honestly, all the way throughout for us. It was just we couldn't score goals. Your friend, a good guy, Frank Hart, was our goalie. Frank played great. We just could not score goals. That was our biggest issue. I'm
gonna say, and this is not a knock on your team. It may sound like it, but it's not. I watching the game, just the one game, granted, against that you played against Austin's team. He was hung out to dry a little bit. A number of chances that were he didn't have much of a chance on. So and it was rough because I told you after the game I thought your team had a bunch of chances, probably more puck possession in the game than the other team, but you guys I don't think crashed the net quite enough.
We flubbed a lot. We flubbed a lot of passes too.
Flubbed a lot of passes.
There was a couple plays where my friend Mike, who's a pure playmaker, just one of the best that I've played with, fed passes right in front on the tape, and guys just shot wide or whiffed or went off the heel. And I mean, more than I can count. It's just a rough night for Team Ponder, to be sure.
You know, but
happens.
Fun was had by all.
Fun. We had a great time, and Austin is just begging me in the chat right now to mention his team. His team was Team Crates, and they took second place. Austin they went to the final. Through 4 round-robin games, Austin had 0 points. But then he turned on Claude Lemieux style, folks. He ended up having a goal and an assist in the playoffs, 2 big moments for his team. Wow. And just turned it on, played great. So it's a shame. It's funny because I saw him get the assist, and I was on his bench going, because at that point my team was already eliminated. So I'm standing there holding a beer, and I'm just cheering his team on, and I lose my mind when I see he got an assist. So then I go to the one of the dressing rooms to talk to one of the other losing teams, and I come back, and he's like, "You missed my fucking goal, Ponder." And I'm like, "You scored? I went crazy for your assist. Imagine if I would have seen your goal." Go ahead.
How many points did you have, Jeff?
3.
Oh,
I was,
okay.
I know. I had to make sure I outscored
one up him.
Austin, yeah.
Ooh, at least you got something. You got something to fall back on there.
Well, it's bad when you score 3 points, and not only that, but the fact that I was the second leading scorer on my team. That's a problem.
Ooh, in 5 games, 3 points, second leading score. Yikes! Yeah, you guys did have trouble scoring.
That's pretty bad.
All right. Well, I mean, when I was there, it was fun. It's always fun. And I wish I could have played. I had other obligations.
Real quick, I'll add totals. And Kurt, again in November, we're going to be doing it again. Get yourself ready. We're going to be playing again, probably the weekend before Thanksgiving is my guess.
Okay.
But anybody who's interested, that'll probably be the next date. But I want to add real quick, Midwest Sport Hockey. We raised the money for them because they lost so much money last year during COVID. They were so generous that they only took half of that money, and they wanted the other half to go back to Be the Match. So Be the Match received half of our proceeds because of Midwest wanting them to make some money. So I thought that was really cool, worth mentioning. Thank you to Midwest Sport Hockey for the awesome donation.
Very cool. Very nice. And so we will get into Perron on COVID protocol and the near disastrous close shave COVID news we received this morning, right after word from Manscaped. Is there anything better than the fresh mowed grass at the ballpark on opening day? How about freshly groomed balls? Our sponsors at Manscaped, the global leaders in below-the-waist grooming, are here to help you strike out your bush for good. Talk about the ultimate utility man. Manscaped is like the Nolan Arenado of ball trimmers. It's time to keep your testes fresh and clean with the Perfect Package 3.0, which includes the Lawnmower 3.0 Skin-Safe Electric Trimmer, the Crop Preserver Anti-Chafing Ball Deodorant, the Crop Reviver Spray-On Toner for your balls made from soothing aloe and witch hazel extracts. Manscaped even threw in their Shed travel bag to keep all your goodies stored comfortably. And speaking of comfort, the Manscaped Anti-Chafing Boxer Briefs are also included and will bring your boxer game to the next level. It's a whole new balls game, folks, and Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. Join the movement. Get 20% off and free shipping with promo code LGB at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use promo code LGB. Baseball's back. Don't let your pubes get out of whack. Manscaped does have the right tools to get the job done quickly, safely, and hygienically. Father's Day is just around the corner, and you probably need a gift for a hairy dad. So make your dad proud this year and get him and yourself the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0, the brand new Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0, and Ultra Smooth package. You know what they say, like father, like son. The brand new Lawnmower 4.0 and Ultra Smooth package is perfect for you and the dad in your life to complete your grooming game. Get 20% off and free shipping with code LGB at manscaped.com.
A couple comments here to get to on Facebook. First of all, unbelievable. We've got Gail Sewell here, who is actually Jason Miller's mom. So the crappy goalie mom has joined the show. Awesome, Gail. Good to hear from you. I haven't heard from her in forever.
Not a crappy mom. I'm sure of it.
No, great mom.
Crappy goalie's mom.
Crappy goalie's mom is listening. So, Gail, thank you very much for tuning in. Good to hear from you. We got a couple other comments here on Facebook. Andrew Picorni says, hello and go Blues from Panama City Beach, Florida.
Nice.
And
I've
my
been there.
30A blonde ale. So that's good stuff, Andrew. And then Cameron Smith, another friend of the show. Evening, gents. Cheers with scotch from Minnesota. So we got a couple other people enjoying some beers with us.
Nice.
Gail, hope you're enjoying your hard liquor, whatever it is you're drinking.
Clang.
And cheers.
Yeah, you been to Panama City Beach, Jeff?
I have not, actually.
I have. It's cool. It's nice. Neat place down there. A cool place to vacation. Get a vacation house right there on the Gulf. It's pretty nice. Gotta say. So Perron, David Perron, still on COVID protocol. That devastating news came out on Saturday. And when I say devastating news, you don't know how you're going to react to something until he actually hits you in the face with it. And I was at Second Shift Brewery in St. Louis enjoying a tasty beverage when I got the news about Perron. Probably about 30 minutes or so after it broke. And I just found myself just pissed off staring at my phone.
Yeah.
Thought for sure, it's probably a false positive. I mean, what? Come on. But then again, I'm like, wow, Wallman just went down with COVID. And so now it's Perron. It's like he could have caught it from Wallman. And we don't know exactly which player has been vaccinated. Now, wild speculation. It's been said that all but 8 members of the entire Blues traveling entourage, was coaches, trainers, any executives, players, all but 8 have been vaccinated.
As well.
And Black Aces, Taxi Squad, all have been vaccinated except for 8. So the vast majority have been. And so and then the news this morning, which was even more confusing, that the 4 Blues players that tested positive for COVID after the overnight test results came back. And during the morning skate, so this news came out and we're like, what? Who is it? And of course they don't tell you. So we had to wait until the morning skate to see who wasn't out there. So it was like, we wait like an hour or so. I was like, oh my God, pins and needles. Who's it going to be? And it's like, worst case scenario, right? If these are all truly positive cases, it's Schwartz, Tarasenko, Binnington, and Scandella. It's like, holy shit. I mean, replace Scandella with O'Reilly, and it's the worst possible situation, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue maybe O'Reilly over Tarasenko as well, and maybe Shen over Scandella.
Yeah, right.
But still, I mean, those are four. Binnington number one, especially after the game that dude just had. Oh, fuck. Like, that was all my mind was going to when that happened was, you got to be kidding me. We're going to have our AHL team out there against the Avalanche.
Yeah. And you know what? And it's frustrating too, because this is like, to me, this is what Twitter is for. So you get news like this, and then there's like instant updates, because everybody that is in the know is like putting out on Twitter. And so everyone's like following, right? And this is where you get instant news quicker than just about anywhere else. You can follow certain tags and you can get the information really quick, which is fantastic. So and that's in addition to the previous protocol players, which were Perron, Walker, and Wallman.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, and let's add too that, if you have Schwartz and Tarasenko out, maybe you do consider putting in a Walker, because he's a veteran at this point in his career, AHL and NHL. Maybe you throw him in as a second line right wing to give a little bit of speed and a little bit of scoring touch. Well, he's not available. So that's another taxi squad guy that you might look to adding, and you can't because he's on the protocol list.
Yeah, and then
unbelievable.
And then speculation starts to run wild about, well, during the season, teams, a coach had tested positive. All of a sudden, games are suspended, multiple games. Pietrangelo comes down with it, one player for Vegas, and they cancel a number of games for that, postpone them. And so fans are wondering, surely if the Blues have 4 or 5 guys on COVID protocol, surely they'll postpone the playoff this round until those guys come back. But that didn't seem to be. I didn't get the inclination that was going to happen. But that's frustrating, because, I mean, if I understand the importance of playoff games and wanting to keep a schedule, get it? Because you got to get the playoffs done before the Olympics. But if you're going to suspend regular season games, which aren't, a third of the importance of playoff games, then why not? Playoff games are so much more important. Why wouldn't you postpone your round by week, especially with the Canadian teams? They're going to push things back a little bit. You've got a little bit of leeway. I don't know. Hopefully, maybe
you could at least have but postponed tonight's game and give it at least another day and say, let's have another day of testing and see what happens.
Right.
And then maybe you push game 3 back to Saturday and so on. And the fact that was the talk, and I think, Kurt, you were the one, I believe, that mentioned on Twitter that the maybe part of the reason the NHL doesn't want to postpone playoff games is because right now they're right up against the Olympics, and they want to get this done. They want the playoffs to be over by Olympic time. Mm-hmm. And so does NBC, especially with them having the Olympic rights. Yep. So it's they want to get this out of the way. They want to get it done, but it's like you are so willy-nilly and so free with reorganizing regular season games, postponing games, adding time to the end of the season. When it really matters, are you telling me that you're not going to consider at least pushing a couple games back? I mean, this is what I said on Twitter. Imagine if this was the conference final and Connor McDavid and Nathan McKinnon are both on the COVID protocol list. You're telling me they're not going to postpone games if that happens? No way.
They're setting a dangerous precedent if that does happen and they do decide they want to postpone a couple of games to give players, a week or so to recover or test positive. But I mean, whatever. It's a shit show, is what it is. And I guess that comes with the territory of playing sports during a pandemic. It is what it is to some degree. But at least be consistent, right? I don't know. But so Blues Armstrong said publicly this morning in not so many words, hold on, back this shit up. We're looking into this after those positive tests came. And they retested the players who tested positive overnight, and they waited the results. So we're on pins and needles for 2-3 hours, whatever it was, and they all came back negative. So it was an error in the testing facility. So they're good to go, minus Perron, Wallman, and Walker, of course, because they were already on the COVID list from before. And then you're just dealing with all kinds of people that, and when the announcement was made that the Blues players who tested positive are actually negative and they'll play, people assume that meant everyone, including Perron. So you got loads, and the information was not clear 100% when it was sent out. So people thought Perron was playing now, and everyone's all excited, and hey, Perron's back, and no, he's not, and people asking questions. No. It's like, good fucking God, people. When you put out news, can you just be fucking thorough with it? Jesus Christ. And you got to deal with all these people on social media, especially, and probably people in general who just get like even less news than people on social media. It's just a complete shit show of misinformation everywhere. And it's like, if you would just be thorough in your announcement, we wouldn't have that.
The problem with Twitter too is that you have people, and it's Facebook as well. You have people who try to come off as experts and say, "Oh, well, this happened, so that means this guy is going to be available." And it's like, you don't know, and you're just pushing out information that you don't have the facts about. Let the reporters do it. And again, you're right. Those reporters need to be more thorough. But if you don't know, don't just willy-nilly, oh, yeah, that guy's fine. He's going to play tonight. You don't know. I've said that a couple times.
So what you're saying is that if you don't have the facts and accurate information or the sources, legit sources, you shouldn't put information out there that's BS. Is that what you're saying? That's a crazy concept, Jeff. I don't know. You're saying
that's a thin line you're asking me to walk, but
okay.
But yes.
All right. I mean, I'll go with you, but I'm not sure half of people that do this shit do.
Yeah, and I'll just add that you mentioned, this is what you get for playing during a pandemic. I know it's probably a CBA thing. There's probably even legal U.S. and Canada laws thing with all of this, but the fact, and I don't know if that whole eight people in the Blues organization decided not to get vaccinated. It needs to be a mandatory. Get vaccinated right now. You have to get vaccinated because you are playing on our team. We don't want these false positives. We don't want any of this. If we all get vaccinated, it doesn't matter if we test positive because everybody in the league will be vaccinated. So I just think if you can get vaccinated, if you are able to get vaccinated and you're employed by one of these teams, again, I know legally there's probably something against it. Just do it. Get vaccinated. Let's get past this. Let's move on and make sure this shit doesn't affect the rest of the playoffs.
No, I agree with you. I'm on board. So in this series, everyone in the world is picking Colorado in this series. I haven't seen a single person that outside of St. Louis fans picking the Blues. So and not just picking the Avs, picking them in a walk. You got a number of analysts and experts saying. I mean, there's probably some bias there. I think these come out of Colorado, but I'd be surprised if the Blues win a game in this series. So. Money Puck had the Blues at 15% to win the series before it began, and now as of today, after losing game one, and maybe in the fashion they did, I don't think. Well, maybe it does factor in, but they have them at 6.9% to win the series. So all of that wrapped into one. I mean, is that warranted? Is it overstated? Where do you stand on the sheer volume of how the table is tilted in Colorado's favor?
Well, I'll say that the fact that the odds went down, not just because they lost a game, but because the way they lost the game, Binnington's not going to be able to make 50 saves a night. It's just, even in a 4-game series, he's not going to be able to put up 45 to 50 saves. So I'm fine with that percentage dropping pretty significantly, but the fact that before the series they had him at 15%, and like you said, my stance on picking playoff series is, and I've said this a million times on this show, there are 31, soon to be 32, good NHL teams. Yes, you have some teams that are just, comparatively speaking, not good, but they're still capable of beating any other team in the NHL on any given night. Crazy bounces, a goalie stealing the game, one player have an amazing night. We've seen it, 1980 Olympics, and I'm not trying to say that happens all the time. It doesn't, but we've seen that happen where any given night any team can win. So, and then you're talking about a team whose roster is made up of many Stanley Cup champions and who have been there before and have played their asses off the last month of the season to just even get in. And now they're, they, in my opinion, made Minnesota look silly, which everyone thinks Minnesota's a hell of a hockey team, which they are. I think it's ridiculous to say that the Blues, are have an 85% chance of losing this series. I do think Colorado has the edge, and I see why 100%, but 85-15?
Yeah.
No way.
I thought coming into the series, I thought that was really low. I totally get, like you said, picking the Avalanche. They had a much better year. Even down the stretch, fantastic. The Blues struggled to find consistency in their game for most of the season and were even thought to be a lock to miss the playoffs at one point, right before they turned it around. But and the Avs played much better than the Blues did in Game 1. A lot better. So dominating a large chunk of the game. So, but before the series, I would have said the Blues had in the neighborhood of like a 30% chance. I would have put it somewhere around there, beating the Avs, all things considered. That's because 15. I think Moneypuck said 15% was the lowest ever. They've been doing this for about 4 years, and it's the lowest percentage a team had of winning a series in the 4 years that they've been doing this. So that tells you right there. I mean, granted, the first game, first period, you're like, damn. Colorado was, aside from the first 5 or 6 minutes, they're all over us. But we will get into that. We'll kind of touch on Game 1 and then get into Game 2 after this message from our friends at ID Life.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Put that energy drink down. Don't you know that common energy drinks contain high levels of caffeine and other harmful ingredients that can lead to increased blood pressure and heart rhythm disturbances? Finding that energy you need for everyday activities doesn't need to put your health at risk. ID Life's energy formula doesn't use artificial ingredients or a massive dose of caffeine. Energy's caffeine levels are released slowly over time, allowing for longer periods of energy without crash, not to mention keeping your heart safe. Energy also includes neurotransmitters for mood, focus, memory, and cognitive function. ID Life also added antioxidants associated with brain health for no reason besides perfection. With RockinThatIDLife.com, you can get an energy boost and leave the heart risk behind. Text Dustin at 636-393-8745 or visit RockinThatIDLife.com and throw those gas station energy drinks in the garbage. That's 636-393-8745 and RockinThatIDLife.com and tell Dustin that Let's Go Blues Radio sent you. So as we come out of break, we got a couple comments I want to get to very quickly. Gail Sewell, again, the crappy goalie mom is what we were going to officially call her. She says, amen, get vaccinated. And if you listen to our show, you know that we all agree with that, including Bill, who's not here tonight. Nathan Chris, who's actually, real quick, Kurt, Nathan was a guy who used to live up the street from me when I was growing up. And he used to put on the goalie pads just so I could take shots on him in the driveway. I literally would stand at the edge of the driveway and just slap shot after slap shot to perfect it. And he did it willingly. We did it pretty much every day for a good 3 years.
You're saying you've perfected your slap shot. That's what you're saying. It's
I
perfect.
got a pretty good slap shot.
So he was a martyr. He was a martyr.
Yeah, he was. I've had some control issues over the years. I know crappy goalie and listener Leon is going to give me shit because there's been times where I just could not get it to stay below the crossbar. But for the most part, I've that's one part of my game that I'm proud of. I think I got a pretty decent, accurate slap shot. Wrist shot, not so much. But anyway, so Nathan, a former goalie, rebranding as the Let's Go Vaccines podcast. I'm here for it, he says.
Yeah, I saw that.
Austin Lynch says, wait, we are in a pandemic? Doesn't look like it with the Hurricanes game looking full capacity last night.
They were 12,000, weren't they? I think
yeah.
12,000.
Yeah. Andrew Tykeson adds, talking to Austin, different states and cities have different rules. The Panthers are at about 9K fans right now, while Tampa, also in Florida, is only half that.
Yep. And we're at 9,000 for game 3. So that's where we'll be. Unless it changes before then, which I doubt it. So
no,
that's where
it
we're
won't.
at. Game 1, Colorado 4, St. Louis 1. The first, like I said, Perron is out for this game, which was a blow. The first 5 minutes of this game were great. I thought the Blues clogged up the middle, didn't allow Colorado to use their speed, had some chances in the offensive zone, didn't give Colorado much in our zone, and held them shotless through the first 6 minutes or so.
Forced turnovers, were forechecking well. So now that we've talked about the first 5 minutes, Kirk, let's just go ahead and start talking about game 2.
Tarasenko hits the post. Man, how the game you wonder how things would have changed in a game if something early on had happened differently than it did. Like if Tarasenko's shot goes in instead of hitting the post. That, I mean, who knows how? I mean,
that changes the complete complexion of the game.
You'd think. I mean, Colorado's. It doesn't change the fact that Colorado's an amazing hockey team, but I mean, the President's Trophy winners usually don't win the cup. So that was, I tell you, they lose often. So I said at the time, you figure Colorado's going to get going at some point soon in this game. So it'd be best if the Blues could have taken advantage of opportunity or two early on to grab the lead before Colorado gets going, because they figured they would at some point. And they had chances to do so. And you after the 5 minute mark, you're like, and then Colorado starts turning back on, and they start coming at you in waves and playing like the team that you expected to see. And you're like, man, we didn't capitalize on our 2 or 3 chances we had, a couple good ones. And now we have to actually really hold them off. So
and you gotta hope. And I think Colorado, top to bottom, has a good lineup, but everyone in the world will agree that is one of the most dynamic top lines you will see in hockey, with Rantanen, McKinnon, and Landeskog. And if you can, Kurt, I don't know if you saw my message there in Slack. Might be important for you to check out. Bill is here. Bill's joining us here.
Bill's here.
So you want to stop that top line. And I think early on, I could be wrong, but I believe McKinnon even had a pretty bad turnover, either in the neutral zone or on the offensive zone. And it was okay. Hem these guys in, take advantage when they're on the ice. And then all of a sudden, the ice was tilted the other way. The McKinnon line really turned it on, started breaking through the neutral zone, almost untouched. And it was, okay, they're going to dominate play when they're out here. So just let them do their thing. Hope Binnington can come up big, which he did. And then when the other lines are out there, you dominate. You go down the ice. You start forechecking. You keep Cale Makar behind his net. You keep guys like any guy that can move the puck like that, Sam Girard, you keep checking them every chance you get. But it just felt like, and I hate to use this term because it's so cliche, it just felt like they took their foot off the gas. And it was just, okay, we've got to weather this storm now. Now Colorado's coming at us. We've got to be able to weather the storm, play good defensively, allow a couple shots, let Binnington make some big saves, and we'll get our game going again. And it just felt like that never really happened again, at least through the first period.
I wouldn't even say it's almost letting off the gas. I would say it's more like they just weren't able to maintain their level of play. And it wasn't from lack of effort, I don't think. They were out there trying. It's just, Colorado's a really good fucking hockey team, and they just made some mistakes positionally. And Colorado will burn your ass with speed when you do that. Bill, welcome to the show, Bill.
Hello, boys.
Hey, your microphone is, I think, the wrong one, but I hope you got a lot of...
I don't have a microphone. My blue snowball is dead. So I'm trying
okay.
to
That's okay.
Gotcha. We can hear you though. Okay. You sound like you're on
I will
a.
stay close. How's this?
Oh, you look great. Keep that up.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out on the fly how to pair my earbuds. So.
See what I'm talking
Bill,
about. You guys and your Bluetooth stuff.
You should be excited because we have a crappy goalie mother in the Facebook chat tonight. It is Jason's mother.
He's talking about Jason Miller's mom, not a derogatory term for a crappy goalie.
No.
The mother of all crappy goalies.
The mother of all crappy goalies.
The mother of the crappiest goalie there is.
That's the comment of the show right there.
Actually, I'm sorry. Our comment of the show goes to Nathan Chris. It goes 1, Al McInnes, 2, Jeff Ponder in slap shots.
You know what?
You, Nathan.
You know what? I wanna have a contest between Bill and Jeff. Slapshot. I'll bring the radar gun. Let's have at it.
If you got one, let's do it.
I don't have one, but maybe a listener can show up with one. Maybe we got a police officer.
Bill, you know what would
listener.
be a lot of fun? We could do 3 tournaments. It could be 1 on roller, 1 on ice, and then a third just in the street.
That would be fun.
I want in this slapshot competition too. I was never known for a slapshot, but I like it.
You can just take wrist shots.
Types of slapshot competition. All right. I want the radar gun, which I might lose, but I want the, like in Rocky IV, the impact thing that Drago was doing, showing that, because that's my thing. I hurt people with my shot.
It is. It's a heavy shot.
You will lose.
Whatever the hell that means, a heavy shot. It's not hard. It's heavy.
I will break
Whatever that means. I'm not sure the science holds up to the heavy shot. It's not hard. It's heavy. I'm not sure the science is there.
He dies.
If he dies, he dies. I mean, okay. So in this game, I mean, it goes without saying, Binnington put on a show. One of the best goaltending performances in a playoff game that I've seen in a long time.
Oh, absolutely.
He was
fantastic. Have we said that? When have we said that before?
You know what? 2019. But you know what? The thing is that his save on Rantanen was better than his Game 7 save in Boston.
Oh, agreed.
The save.
Obviously, it was a bigger moment against Boston.
Sure,
so that
bigger
was
stage,
be
right?
More remembered. But
this
man, that save on Rantanen, holy shit!
Yeah,
I think I woke up the whole neighborhood when he made that save.
Anytime you're down on the ice on your belly and your pad's down against the post and you see a shot coming and you instinctively lift it up to pick the puck out of midair when it would have went over your pad. I mean, you could chalk up to luck because he's anticipating, but still, I think Bill, you can probably attest to that save being I don't know what you call it. I mean, it's not something he's guessing, and he guessed right, and it was amazing.
Yeah, it's actually, and I don't know if my voice is any better. I got the earbuds paired now, so
you look great.
Better. All right, yeah, you guys sound a hell of a
lot
lot
better.
great. Yeah, let me tell you that.
Well, you look better.
Thanks, because you don't have to look at my, awful beard up close. So, no, it's one of those things that it's that the player, at this point, that a player's not going to try to slide that puck in along the ice. They're going to try to chip it just over the pad. They're not going to try to go roof on that. So you kick your leg up just slightly, hoping to pull it down, and that's exactly what he did. Just an incredible save on Rantanen, who I thought took a little bit too much time. Didn't take as much time as Mike Hoffman on his wraparound attempt.
Yeah, yeah, but that's not his game. I thought it was pretty good for him.
Yeah, no, I mean that just it's getting back to your conversation about things that would have swung this game.
Yeah,
that right there, right?
Yep.
It was.
If that were David Clarkson, that would have been a goal.
Yeah.
Who's still getting LTIR for him?
So
probably Arizona. That's my guess.
So getting outplayed in the first after the first 5 minutes, and Cale Makar finally scores for Colorado and make it 1-0 on the power play, which everybody knew that pays attention to stay out of the box against Colorado, because they're gonna burn you, and they burned us this season on the power play. We in head to head against Colorado this season, we've outscored them 5-on-5. So just like in the playoffs last year, keep it 5-on-5. The Blues are going to be better 5-on-5 against Boston last year, and they're in 19, and they're going to be a better team 5-on-5, even though their power play has been really, really good down the stretch, and actually better than Colorado's this season as a whole, and head to head. I'm sorry, not head to head, but the last month of the season, better than Colorado, and I think the Blues finished 6th on the PK this year, as opposed to Colorado 8th, something like that. But
and Colorado was I think it was 13 for 38, right?
Against the Blues?
Against the Blues this year, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. 38%.
Very good.
It was. Yeah. So Bozak loses the faceoff in our zone on this goal, which, I mean, that hurts because O'Reilly's in the box.
Well, real quick, I want to mention the O'Reilly penalty. I thought this was just an unlucky, O'Reilly was kind of reaching back. A lot of times with penalties, you can say, "What the hell are you doing?" I mean, how many penalties have we bitched about because of a stupid offensive zone penalty? This was one where O'Reilly was kind of in the slot area and more at the faceoff dot, but was trying to reach back and just stop the puck carrier and hopefully get a poke on the puck, and it just got tangled up in his legs, and it was unfortunate. And it's just one of those where you can't do anything but put your head up and just say, "God damn it! You got to be kidding me!"
And people were calling it a dive. I don't know if it was a dive at all. I mean, he tripped the guy. I mean, he got tight. He corkscrewed him. So it wasn't on purpose. But it was just
I don't remember who it was, but I mean, I think whoever it was just not expecting a stick to be there.
Sure. Yeah. And you get, yeah, exactly. I thought Bozak played this terribly. I mean, Makar is an amazing talent at the point, and he made a great play, but Bozak comes out there and fades away and gives a swipe at his stick and gives Makar the center of the ice. What is that? I mean, right. And then Makar walks in and scores with two guys, and Sanford misses the block shot, and the two Colorado players in front, kind of a screen there for Binnington. That was a bad sequence there. Losing the faceoff, then missing your man at the point, fading away and waving a stick. You're not going to get Makar that way, and he knew it too. At the end, you could see him kind of bang a stick on his knees. He knew he messed up.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys already talked about the Curtis Foster breakdown in the Athletic.
Not
yet.
He talked about which way you swing, when you're trying to cut off lanes, and Bozak, swung back to the outside and left the middle completely unprotected. Like, just absolutely wrong pivot there for him. And
always
put himself out of position and gave way too much room for the guy that is being touted as the future 5-time in a row Norris Trophy winner.
You keep him to the outside, keep him to the boards. Don't give them the middle. I mean, if you're going to give them anything, give them the boards, give them the outside. That Curtis Foster breakdown was great. Since you brought it up, Bill, Jeremy Rutherford with the Athletic had brought on what's Curtis? What's his last name?
Curtis Foster.
Yeah. Former NHL defenseman. Yeah, had him on, and he broke down.
Yeah,
he broke down this
injuries I've ever seen in a game when he broke his femur.
They say that's one of the most painful things you can experience too. It's like the male equivalency of childbirth, apparently. He broke. I'm passing along information. I don't know from experience either way, but he broke down the game one. This was a better breakdown than any breakdown or analysis over an entire game that I've seen ever. You see analysts, with the marker on the screen on post game shows and things, kind of break things down a little bit. This was in so much detail, and with pictures and circling players and stuff, and breaking things down, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. This was in so much more detail than I've ever seen before from an analyst. This was great. And when he's breaking it down, I'm like, yes, that makes perfect sense. I agree with you. And we touched on that a little bit just now with what Bozak did improperly. But so Kyrou scores on the rush to 1-1 for the Blues, tied it up. Thomas, the engine on this goal. We lost Jeff. What happened? We lost Jeff. Internet. He has internet issues. Well, all right. Get it fixed, Jeff, and we'll get back to you.
Figure it out.
It wasn't me. I'll have to tell him. Nope, it wasn't me, Jeff. It was you. It was you. Thanks. Let me check my connection here. Oh yeah, I'm good.
There he goes.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. He's back in.
The YouTube video and.
Okay. There you are. Yeah.
Hey guys.
You're a little choppy now too, so it's probably something on your end. It's not on my end.
It's me.
Okay.
Go ahead and continue with the show.
All right. So thank you. This is. I mean, okay. So the way this game was going, and Kyrou scores a tie to 1. Thinking, okay, we're getting outplayed, but now late in the second period, and this second period was better, much better for the Blues. Still allowed 14 shots, but they had 11 shots on goal, so they were generating some stuff. Didn't play. They did a better job against Colorado, but and they tied it with a few minutes to go in the second. Thinking, okay, tie game going into the third. With the way this game has gone so far, this is fantastic. I don't think any Blues fan was disappointed at all with being tied going to the third in this game. I think, but then in the third period, things changed 30 seconds in. So another, yeah. Well, and I want to talk about this with you guys. So McKinnon scores on an amazing shot, but the fact that he was left where he was with both the defensemen behind the unred line, Parayko and Scandella, it's like, what do you expect? I mean, granted, he's an elite player. It's a really tough shot even for him, but he hit it on a one-timer nonetheless from fairly in close. He got it up. It's an impressive shot, really impressive. But still, Blues were chasing Perron and Scandella behind the net. I think it was O'Reilly that couldn't get over to cover McKinnon in time, and boom, scores just like that. And essentially, it was game over. We got outshot 18-7 in the third. Didn't mount a lot of pressure after that. Hell, we couldn't even get our goalie off hardly. Last 3 minutes to go, we didn't get him. We couldn't get Binnington off for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So,
well, real quick, did you guys see the hot takes about McKinnon's goal that put him in the lead? A lot of people said that. Well, not a lot. I saw a couple people say that Binnington didn't play that right, and that he made himself too small in the net. I'm like, are you kidding me?
No.
That's a bang-bang play. Binnington's trying to cover as much net as possible. You've got two defensemen going to the puck carrier behind the net, leaving one of the best goal scorers in the NHL wide open in front. I don't put that on Binnington at all.
What's he supposed to do?
Right.
He can't come out. The puck's behind the net. He can't come out. What's he going to do?
Yeah.
He can't.
Again, the Curtis Foster breakdown on that goal, like I was absolutely spot on, yelling at the TV that Parayko and Scandella had zero communication on that play, and they both collapsed down low.
They lost a puck battle.
Get the coverage in the slot. Right.
Parayko lost a puck battle on the far boards.
Scandella went for the hit and missed, and that's set it in motion. That the last person you blame that goal on is Jordan Binnington. He had you in the game to that point. And the only thing I can say is it must have been, somebody with a Jake Allen fan club Twitter handle saying that's on Binnington, because Jesus, the guy was the only reason you're in the game at that point.
And actually,
even if somehow he's at fault in that game, the fact that he kept you in it at that long, come on, back the fuck off.
I don't even think his previous play in the game mattered whatsoever. That particular play, he did nothing wrong. He did what he was supposed to do.
Agreed.
Yeah. So Landeskog makes it 3-1 with 11 to go in the game. Nice deflection.
Beauty.
It's tough. Falk was on him for a second, shoved off of him, which defensemen do, right? You'll cross check a guy in the back to push him away from the goal. Well, when Falk did that, he created separation. So I guess inadvertently, and then the shot comes, and all of a sudden there's separation there. So he's got his stick free to deflect. And if he was against Falk, maybe Falk ties up his stick a little bit. I don't know. But it's just a bad break in that situation.
That's a beauty. That's just one of those goals you have to just kind of tip your hat.
It was nice. It was great. It was
just a
fantastic
beauty deflection.
Yeah.
So anyway,
nothing you could do about it. And you're gonna allow McKinnon to get open at the point. You know, the coverage not very good. I think it was pointed out it was Tarasenko that kind of floated. It should have been his block, and he tried to. Then it became O'Reilly's, and they missed. But perfect deflection by Landeskog.
Yeah.
Again, nothing on that play that Binnington could have done about it.
No, I think the Blues may need him to play. I mean, you can't expect him to, but he might have to. If the Blues aren't going to step it up, he may have to steal a couple games, like stand on his head, for the Blues to have a chance. Now he's got to play. He's got to play well for the Blues to win the series, really well. But I mean, man, if you're going to ask him to play like he did in Game 1, the rest of the series, you're asking a mountain. I mean, that's rough. So for Game 1, he steals that game against any other team. I don't know who else beats him in that game besides Colorado.
Yeah, maybe the Kucherov led Lightning, or maybe Vegas. But when McKinnon scored that goal, I was actually busy. Somebody had tweeted that I'm afraid that I think it was Low Def Blues tweeted, I'm afraid that Binnington's going to try to score a goal this next period. And I was busy trying to find it. It happened in the Liverpool game this weekend. Their goalie scored the season-saving goal. Never happened in 125 years. So I was trying to find a video of that to tweet a snarky reply, and McKinnon.
That's funny.
I just threw my phone down.
Blues were outshot 50-13 in this game. Landeskog, McKinnon, and McCarr with 3 stars. Bullshit. Binnington is number 3. Yeah. Easily. McCarr scores 1 goal. It's the first goal of the game. It's not the game winner. Binnington. Oh my God, that just pissed me off.
What was the Golden Knights game? Did you guys see the Golden Knights game where they had Talbot was 3rd star? No. Maybe it was Minnesota. I don't remember, but they had I think it was Fleury was the 2nd star and Talbot was the 3rd star.
Oh, in Game 1.
And and Talbot had the shutout with like 49 saves, but they gave the 2nd star to Fleury. It's the same bullshit.
Right. Well, so the NBC broadcast gave Binnington 2nd star.
This is the NHL.com, the official 3 stars of the game. Yeah, which
that's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
NBC got it right. It was
2nd star. That's ballsy, because I would have said 3rd just because the 2nd. I mean, no, 2nd star is well deserved. I get it. That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I've had NHL EA games where I've won the game and I don't even get a star of the game. So I'll take him being any part of the stars.
We'll talk about tonight's game. About as far as is this a must-win game for the Blues? We'll talk about that kind of thing and what the Blues need to do in Game 2 that they did not do in Game 1. Right after we have a message from Center Ice Brewery. Center Ice Brewery is St. Louis's only hockey-themed brewhouse. Stop on in during the next game to experience the ultimate hockey fan brewery while sampling various hockey-inspired beers, such as Old Arena Lager, the Beauty IPA, the Rotating Pale Ale Series, or seasonal offerings such as their Imperial Stout, their Lime Sherbet Sour, and much more. While you're there enjoying any number of their fantastic beverages, you can admire the bar top and tables made of authentic arena wood and the actual penalty box door from the old barn. Located at 3126 Olive Street in Midtown St. Louis, it's one of the best places to watch a Blues game, or any game. Visit CenterIceBrewery.com today to schedule a no-contact curbside pickup or make a reservation in the tap room. Center Ice Brewery. Let's go Blues. Please drink responsibly. Game 2 tonight. They say 9:30 puck drop, but it's gonna be at 9:35, 9:38, something like that. I guess. So, Game 2, is this a must-win game, guys? Yes or no? Because I mean, You hear a lot of people talk about this after one game, so I'm curious to see your guys' takes. I have one.
No, I saw your take and agreed with it completely. Unless you've changed yours from what you tweeted out earlier.
I don't change my opinions.
Yeah. Very true statement. Touche.
I try not to.
No, it would be nice. It makes game 3 a must win if you lose this one.
Yeah,
but
I think so.
It gives you breathing room. And I think the earlier you can win in the series, the better. Don't go back home split, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I never use the must win, especially when you consider. I mean, we've seen teams before or series before where it's the home team wins every game, and then it comes down to game 7. Yeah. So I'm not saying this is a must win. It is a suggested win. They should definitely try to win this game, but I am going to say that it's important to win this game, yes, just to come back to St. Louis with a tie series. But if they lose this game, I'm still not throwing my hands up saying the team's done.
So my take on this is, and my take has been like this forever, over years. So I hate the must-win game talk after a game 1 loss on the road. If you open on the road, yeah, that's silly. If you open on the road, your goal is to hopefully split. If you don't, then the goal is to win your home games and steal one of the next 2 in their building. That's the plan. That's what you have to do. So right now, and you're never really in trouble in a series when you open on the road until you lose a home game and you're down in the series. Because you open on the road, they hold serve at home. Okay, fine. You come back home and you try and hold serve at home too. And then you go back. It's best 2 out of 3 in their building. So you got to win 1 in their building. It's not rocket science. I almost said the wrong term. It's not rocket surgery. Yeah, like I agree, guys. They would love to win this game, and it's important to win this game, but it's not do or die. It's not must win. Must win is the most misapplied, overused term in sports. Yeah, especially after game 1. I hate seeing it after game 1. It's ridiculous. It's a 7-game series. But yeah,
that was for those that remember after the Blues lost game 1 against San Jose. Everybody said that in 2019, game 2 is a must win. They did win that game, but I remember then just thinking that was ridiculous. Like, yeah, they haven't been a great home team during the playoffs, but you never know what could happen. I mean, yes, if they're down 3-0, they lose game 3. Okay, that's a must win, yeah. But game 2, that's not a must-win. You still got plenty of opportunities.
2014 against the Hawks, I think it was, where we won both games in Chicago, 1 and 2. Was it 14 or 15? In Chicago,
14.
In Chicago, won games 1 and 2, lost 4 straight after that.
Yep.
So,
do you think Chicago, after they lost game 2, was just like, they're done?
Yeah,
no more.
I'm sure their fans. I'm sure their fans were all like, "We're done. This sucks."
Yeah.
Look what happened. It's a 7-game series, guys. And granted, now I think if the Blues don't win tonight, if they play much better and make it a game, because it was a game on the scoreboard going into the third. Last game was tied, and it was a 1-goal game until later, midway through the third. But it wasn't on the ice. It was tilted. They were getting outplayed. If they can play with the Avs tonight, play and have half the game in the Avs end, go back and forth, and play with them, and they end up losing, I think that sets a nice tone for coming back to St. Louis. Now, if they get the doors blown off on the scoreboard and outplayed on the ice again and lose 3-0, 4-1, 5-2, whatever, that's like, then you're like, you're down, right? You're not going to feel good about it at all. So
let me ask Bill first, Kurt, you next. What do the Blues need to do to win tonight? I hate the whole keys of the game bullshit. I think that's always just such fluff. But what do you want to see out of the Blues tonight that could lead to victory? Bill, I'll start with you.
Score more goals than Colorado.
Now that's the kind of hard-hitting analysis you will get nowhere else, folks.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think they've got to contain the speed. Speed kills, and it's killing us. It killed us in game one. Find a way to cut off the neutral zone. This team is defined by its forechecking, and Berube called him out for not having an effective forecheck in after the first 5 minutes of game one. So if they can find their game and push the Avs deep, great. But if they come out and they're not able to do that, hopefully there's a change of tactics, and maybe we see a little bit of the left wing lock or something come back to clog up the neutral zone. Because game one they just gave up way too much of center ice to the Avs. You just can't do it.
I think, and they need to look at the first 5 or 6 minutes of game one, which they played a really effective game against Colorado. I think they need to focus on being more consistent with that level of play throughout the entire game, because after the first 5 or 6 minutes, that kind of they weren't able to maintain that. So I think they need to do something within themselves to stick to the plan there and keep that going. So they were clogging the middle. They were forcing the Avalanche to the outside, taking away speed up the middle, not giving them easy exits out of their own zone at all, forcing turnovers, and not giving them easy entries into our zone, standing up the blue line, and the defensemen were pressuring them coming out of our zone too. So that's all. Those are all things to slow down the fast team. If you can slow down their speed, clog up the middle, that's going to go a long way into slowing them down as a whole. Now, I know it's easier said than
I think of the hit that Shen had on Rantanen. Now you can argue that was knee to knee possibly, but I think that is a key as well. If you can you need to step up and make these guys come through you. That's the way you can combat the speed. And I didn't see them do that enough in game one. I'm hoping we see some adjustments for game two.
Well, I was just going to say, I think you have to, if you're going to try to play the body, you've got to be more positionally sound. Case in point, the go-ahead goal in Scandella trying to take out Rantanen along the boards. You can't speculate on a hit. If you've got them close enough to you, make the hit. Don't run for it. Don't go out of position, because that gets you scrambling and gets you lost in coverage.
Yeah, I don't think that you got to be positionally smart about hitting. So I mean, you go out of your way to make a big hit. Even if you make the big hit, you could take yourself out of the play too, and then the rest of the guys are speeding up the ice. I think
it's not even about hitting for me too. It's I mentioned it on Twitter, and I think the Blues forwards were not stepping up as much as they could, which led to defensemen backing up in their zone and giving room to guys like McKinnon and Rantanen, guys that come in with speed and skill. You've got to be able to trust your forwards to be able to step up and play a good defensive game, get the puck out of the zone, because otherwise that's what's going to happen. Not to give the defenseman a pass, but that's what happens when your forwards aren't playing that strong forecheck game and they're not keeping guys contained in the neutral zone. The defensemen are going to back up because that's their only option. If they step up too much, all of a sudden that's when you get your breakdowns, you get your 2-on-1s, your 1-on-0s, whatever. We saw it with the 2-on-0 with Rantanen and Kadri. So it's just a matter of play their game. I mean, we've seen the Blues play that strong defensive game with this team and with the team last year and the team the year before that. It's just a matter of playing it and sticking to it and playing it for a full 60.
And I think another obvious thing in game one for me was that the Blues weren't doing, and we talked so far about what to do basically when Colorado has the puck, as far as like effective forecheck and keep them the outside, don't give them the middle of the ice. That's with them coming up the ice. I think that for the Blues to be effective tonight, they not only have to do that, but they cannot squander their good chances, because if Berube's philosophy is quality shots over quantity, then you can't squander as many quality chances as you're getting. because if you're passing up quantity, then you got to capitalize on the on the quality ones. So the mishandles of the puck, mismanagement, mishandling the puck, and puck mismanagement was bad in the neutral zone, in the offensive zone, turning the puck over, flubbing the puck, for lack of a better word. It just wasn't smooth. It wasn't effective. Colorado was quick to pressure, and that they forced the issue. So the Blues they have to manage the puck better and move it quicker when Colorado's pressuring. Because if Colorado's pressuring you and taking the body, and your other teammates are moving and rotating, you're gonna have guys open. So I mean, you just got to be effective doing that. You cannot miss on those chances as much as they have been in game one.
Yeah, you bring up flubbing the puck, and Jeff is the one that pointed this out on Twitter during game one, how awful the ice looked, how bad players were having issues handling the puck, controlling the puck, falling down. So we'll have to see if the ice is similar to that tonight, but you got to you have to make the solid play, take a hit, but make the play, right? That's the cliche that we need to make work for us. And then the other, I think, obvious thing that, goes without saying as far as keys to the game, stay the fuck out of the box.
Yeah.
Do not get steam power play.
Yeah.
And don't take, and listen, I thought maybe like the Blay hooking, that was some bullshit call. We got to hope that the referees are gonna make the right call, and they're gonna keep the whistles in the pocket when it's necessary. We have to hope for that, but don't give them a reason. Don't give them a reason to call the penalty. Don't go out of your way to make a hit after the play. And I thought they did an okay job of that in game one, but no, I just feel like there was something else that bothered me about game one. I thought there was a lot of desperation moves to the middle of the ice. Let's move it to the slot and hope somebody's there to poke it in. Blind passes. I saw that a lot in game one. You can't do that against Colorado. They're such a strong, smart hockey team that they know when teams are just going to desperately poke it in front. You've got to set up a play. You've got to play the game that you can play. None of that desperation, throw it in front bullshit and hope it goes in. I'm not saying you shouldn't shoot from any angle if you have the opportunity, but you've got to set up plays. You can't just hope that the puck hits off a stick or hits off a skate and goes maybe to another player's stick or in the net. You've got to make the right play. And I feel like there was a lot of blind passes in game one. I'd like to see a cut down on that for game two.
Yeah, and I think the guy that was most emblematic of that was Jaden Schwartz. Outside of the first 5
yeah. And Bill's
and he was completely out of sync with everybody. He would go the wrong way, right?
There was a couple times where he turned his body and he threw it. He threw it in front, and it was just, dude, you had to control the puck. No one was on you. Bring it to the quarter and make a play.
That just circles back to what I said about execution. Just puck management. Make the smart play. And the thing is that if you're going to beat Colorado, you need to keep the puck away from them. So good puck management. Don't throw it wildly often, and just give it right back to them, because they're going to come back down the ice and set up. So the more you have the puck, the less they have it, and it's not complicated stuff. So, and they're dangerous with the puck. So, like you said, just throwing the puck blindly in the offensive zone, hoping to hit somebody, is not a good strategy to have more than once in a game for your player. I mean, it might work for you in a desperation attempt, or if you got no other options, okay, but try and be smart with it.
Yeah.
I guess we can hit a couple of the Today in Blues history, and then we'll wrap up the show. How's that sound, guys?
Sure.
Yeah, so there's actually Today in Blues history, courtesy of the @STL Blues history Twitter account, May 19th, 2019. And there's 3 from the same game, which is, if Puckeye 14 is still listening, he'll love these. Game 5 versus the San Jose Sharks. Series tied at 2-2. The Blues win 5-0. And in the process of going 3-0 in the final 3 games of the series and outscoring the Sharks 12-2 after the infamous overtime hand pass goal against. The Blues set a franchise record in this game with their 11th win in the playoffs and a 7th road win of a playoff season. Binnington had his first career playoff shutout. Schwartz with the hat trick becomes the first Blues player with 2 hat tricks in the same playoff year. Tarasenko in this game became the first Blues player to score a goal on a penalty shot in the playoffs. The Blues' previous playoff penalty shot was Jimmy Roberts, April 27th, 1968. I guess
how did Jimmy Roberts get himself in a position where he had a penalty shot?
I have no idea. And I remember hearing about that.
He was a big lumbering defenseman, right?
Yeah.
Like
and
how did he get himself in that position?
As many times, because the Blues have been in the playoffs a lot, more than any other expansion 6 team. And for this to be their first penalty shot goal in the playoffs just shows that they don't call penalty shots in the playoffs near as much as they probably could or should. Yeah. Also in this game, with a score of 3-0 at the time, a clean check. This is not my words. This is by at STL Blues History. A clean check by Alex Pietrangelo knocks Joe Pavelski out of the San Jose Sharks out of the playoffs. San Jose picked up 2 penalties on the play, and Blues proceeded to score on the ensuing power play, adding insult to injury. That play pissed off San Jose Sharks Nation. Yeah, I don't think you're going to convince any Sharks player that that was a clean check. Even though, if you slow it down and look at it, it's hard to tell if the elbow that is thrown makes contact. I don't think it does, but whatever. And May 19th, 1998, the bad for this one is the St. Louis Blues lost this game 6-1, and the series versus Detroit 4-2. And that was Brett Hull. Brett Hull played his last game for the St. Louis Blues, May 19th, 98. The good part was the last game. This was the last game the Blues wore the terrible clown jerseys until they brought them back last year.
Yeah, that was a great day.
So there you have it. Today in Blues history, May 19th. And we got a game here in about 2 or 3 minutes.
Do we want to do predictions? Predictions for tonight, boys?
If you want to go ahead and do them. I hate predictions, but I do too. I'm gonna say I expect a better effort from the Blues tonight, a more fundamentally sound positionally game, especially defensively and in the neutral zone against Colorado. I expect that, because if they don't do it, they're going to lose.
Well, I will say if go ahead.
Go ahead, Jeff. You go ahead.
All right. I was going to say that I would have said, if the COVID protocol shit would have lasted, I would have said Blues 1-0, because that's just the way hockey works. Philly Husso would have had a shutout, and Dakota Joshua would have scored the goal. But having it that did not happen, I'm going to go 2-1 Blues. I think Binnington plays well again. Hopefully doesn't face 50 shots. And Blues, I think they go behind early, but I can see them having another strong second and third. So we'll see how that goes.
Bill, what you got?
My prediction is I don't make it through the second period.
Do what I do. Do what I do and stand up and watch the game. You won't fall asleep that way.
I do that too, actually.
I'll try it, but I'm operating on 3 hours of sleep. So
I got my TV mounted on the wall, and I stand about 2 feet from the TV. Just watching.
Yep, that's about the same for me.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I think the Blues can force a split, but it's either going to be a late winner or an overtime winner. And
what we didn't talk about tonight was Binnington challenging Grubauer, which I meant to talk a lot about, but we didn't have time to get into it.
Yeah, we didn't have any time. Yeah. All I'll say is, good for you, Jordan.
Yes.
Defend your teammates. I fucking love it.
Anybody that thinks that's ridiculous what he did, he basically skidded down the ice. That's all he did anyway. Right. But he was challenging Grubauer. Anybody who says that's a fucking bullshit move doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. That was what he was supposed to do. That's his job as a goalie. Grubauer is taking shots. I mean, he took a shot too from Clifford, but he's giving shots back. He's getting in the scrum. And that's his literal job as a goalie, to go down there and take Grubauer. That's his job.
You say that's his job as a goalie. That's his job as a teammate.
Yes.
Because there was something else going on in the corner with Sanford, and a lot of attention was being paid to that. And so Binnington saw that and saw 2 guys on Clifford, and it was, fuck this. That's not happening. I'm going to skate down and make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, a lot more appropriate timing for him to challenge another player in a game than when he's been yanked in the San Jose game.
Yes, right. Yes,
it was the right move.
It was absolutely,
and I just wish that Gruby would have engaged there, but
yeah. Well, he kind of came out a little bit, but they the officials stepped in. All right, so we got a game to watch. Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you in part by Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming products. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with code LGB. Look good, smell good, feel good with Manscaped. And by ID Life, the world's only truly personalized vitamin platform based on a health assessment and your DNA. Visit rockinthatidlife.com for more information. That's rockinthatidlife.com. And get 10% off by texting Dustin at 636-393-8745 and tell him Let's Go Blues Radio sent you. And by Center Ice Brewery, St. Louis's hockey-themed brewery. Visit centericebrewery.com today to schedule a no-contact curbside pickup or to make a reservation in their tap room. While you're there and enjoying a number of their fantastic beers, you can admire the bar top and tables made of authentic arena wood. Located at 3126 Olive Street in Midtown St. Louis, it's one of the best places to watch a Blues game. That's centericebrewery.com. Please drink responsibly. That'll wrap up episode 36 of season 9. Of the original St. Louis Blues Hockey Podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio. Thanks to everyone who has listened and watched. We hope you have enjoyed the show as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. For Jeff Ponder and Bill Day, I'm Kurt Price. Until next, I guess after the show, or if we're in Discord or next episode, fuck Kroenke. Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Fuck up the entire Avalanche roster, Binnington, and let's go Blues.
The Chiefs are at home tonight against Cyanosport at the War Memorial at 8. Good seats are still available.
A look at sports.
I think that went very well.
Thank you for listening to Let's Go Blues Radio. Now take off, hosers.
I want you to have a heart attack and die so that we never have to do this shit again.
Well, there's 90 minutes of your life you'll never get back. Sorry.
St. Louis Blues, St. Louis Blues. Have you heard the news about our St. Louis Blues? They've only just begun.